the story of my first kiss, and not necessarily my first boyfriend, but my first guy that I dated. But I ended up hurting Cameron pretty bad, and in the next part of this video, I'm going to be meeting up with him tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about this whole situation of what went down between us, and we haven't talked in 6 years about this. We're gonna talk, and I'm going to apologize and get his side of the story. Wish me luck, guys. I'm nervous, but again, I'm excited to see what happens. Okay, so I just got a text from him. He's gonna be here in like 5 minutes. I'm nervous, I'm excited, but I don't know, I'm like freaking out as well. I think just because I haven't seen him in 5 years, and I feel like that's a normal feeling, like when you haven't seen someone in a while. But I guess I'm mostly just nervous because I don't know what to expect. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be angry at me or like what he has to say based on how things ended. I'm ready for this, I'm ready. So nervous. I hope this goes well. Okay, so he just got here. This is weird. It's just like that weird like anticipation of just not knowing what to expect. Hi!
Oh my gosh, it's Joey Graceffa. What's up?
Oh my god, good to see you.
I was wondering what color your hair would be when I see you.
It's blonde.
It changes constantly.
So, oh my god.
It's
so
really
crazy.
weird to see you. It's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's 5 years.
Okay, well let's just chat for a moment.
Just for a quick sec.
Yeah. Where to begin? I set up the cameras and we've just been chatting for a bit and just catching up.
Just a little.
So I gave them a little bit of a backstory of kind of like how we met and like how you were my first kiss.
Yes. Do you want to talk about the kiss first? Because that was one of the things that I wrote down in notes, just thinking about things. Because, okay, so in your book, because I read the section about me, of course, I had to read the section about me.
Yes.
It was like,
did you like that name I gave you?
I hate that.
You do?
Literally hate. How do you even pick that name?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
And then, I don't even remember exactly what you said because I read it like forever ago. It was like when it first came out. There's something like that, like you were disappointed that it wasn't more than what it was or something.
Well, okay, no. That's, okay.
Tell me, spill the tea.
Here's the tea. Well, I guess we should start from like that moment because we met at VidCon.
Yes. No, technically Playlist Live before that.
Yeah, but then we like actually started talking at the VidCon. So you came up to me at a party and you offered to get me a drink. I was like, okay. So there's this boy coming up to me. I was so shook because like no boy had ever like really like approached me in that way. So I was like, kind of like, okay, like I don't know what to do, but okay, I'll take the drink. But anyways, we finally meet up that night and then you come back to my hotel room and I think Whitney was with us, my friend Whitney, and we were just like hanging out for a while.
We like were working a costume. That was what it was.
Oh!
Because you're going to Comic-Con literally the next day.
And so Anime Expo actually.
Oh, so that's what we're working on because you had no time to finish it.
Right.
And so you're like, hey, can you do this? I'm like,
yeah,
sure, why not?
No, I think the kiss happened before that.
Did it really?
I think so. I think that was the next day we worked on the costume. Because I came back, I brought stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I came back because I wanted to hang out with you some more. So anyways, that night we are in the hotel room, Whitney leaves, the two of us, and I think we like started drinking and we started like just talking, and I think I came out to you as bi. Did you, first of all, did you believe, I think I like brought that up, I was like, no one believes that I'm bi, like I just thought, and at that moment, to be fair, I did think that I was bi.
I know when you told me that you're bi, like my very first instinct was like, well, I don't know everything about him, so clearly if he says he's bi, he's bi. And that's fine. I didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing that I was like, oh wow, he's like really cool. Like he accepted the fact, because I think most of the gay guys that I had told that to were just like, oh, you're gay. Just, you're gay.
Completely.
Anyways, from there, we were left alone, and then we just started talking and like, started like getting
deep stuff.
Yeah.
Like really deep stuff, like family problems and things like that.
And so I feel like that built up the connection. I was like, oh my god, like, whoa.
Which was funny because as soon as we did that, I think Kat came into the room at one point.
Yeah.
And then we were just like talking, we were like really close, and then all of a sudden like, because I didn't know who you've talked to about like whether or not you like boys or girls. So like we were like right here, and then all of a sudden she walked in the room.
Oh, so you were so scared. She was actually the first person I ever told that I was gay. So we got really close on the bed, and I was like, I was getting that like anxious feeling. I was like, oh my god, like I feel like we're like really close. Like, are we gonna kiss? Like, is this gonna be my first kiss moment? Like, was that at all in the picture for you, or is it like just not at all?
Maybe a little bit. I feel like I was too involved in like the conversation.
Okay.
Like I was
just like, oh my god, look at my first kiss.
And I'm just like,
yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah. So he gets up because Kat walks in the room, and then you're like, oh, I have to go anyways, because it was like probably 4 a.m. at that point.
But before we did that, this sounds really weird because I remember this very distinctly. We were doing handstands in the hotel room before we left. That was part of my vlog.
I loved doing handstands. That was like my Joey handstand era.
He's not good at handstands. Not really.
Excuse me? Yes, I am.
So he can go onto his hands and he can walk, but
yes,
the technique of his handstand could use some work.
Oh, bitch. You're lucky I haven't done a handstand in a really long time. Otherwise, I'd do one right now and I'd show you up. Okay, so we go out into the hallway. I'm like, all right, I'll walk into the elevator. And I'm like, damn it, like this, I missed my opportunity to have my first kiss. And
Kat did it.
She did.
She ruined the moment.
So if Kat didn't walk in, you
potentially, like, because we were like still talking.
But it wasn't like
scared.
It was also like a little touchy too. Like we were touching each other's. Like I think you were like rubbing my head or something. Or
I think you like laid down.
Yeah.
Or something like on my lap or like on my chest or something. I don't remember that part. And then that's when she came in and I was like, oh, this looks precarious.
Yeah.
Like no matter how innocent it is, this looks precarious.
And I'm like one of those people that's like I don't really like PDA anyways, so I just wanted to like separate too, so it wasn't like weird for her to like walk in and like think that there was more happening. So anyways, we go into the hallway, we're waiting for the elevator to come, and I'm just like, okay, so this is gonna happen or not? And you were like ready to leave, and I was like, oh bitch. So it was like, what, no kiss? And then you came back and like gave me like a quick little peck on the lips, and that's where I was like, oh, that was it?
You have to also realize, I'm thinking about this too, because I came from the side of, I've talked to him a couple of times now, we've hung out a couple of times.
Okay.
I know that he's not out to people, clearly, like, just like your social media presence in general, like you're not out to people.
Right, no, I was not out at all, I was just out with like a couple of friends.
And so I was like, I don't even know who knows and who doesn't know, etc. And so I didn't know what you felt comfortable with either. And so there was like that line of like, I want him to feel comfortable. And so like, when I read the excerpt and stuff and you're like, oh, it's just a peck, I was like, what did he want me to do? Stick my tongue down his throat? That's what I was thinking.
No, I would have been so scared of that, but I think it was just because it was so quick that I was like, I don't know, in my head I always thought like a kiss like was like, not necessarily tongue, but just like, yeah, long pressure. I'd never done it before, so it was just like quick. I was like, I didn't even really get to like feel it, so it just happened like in a second. I think I blacked out too. So you left and immediately I just ran into the hotel room with Kat and I was just like, yes, bitch, I got my first kiss! I was like so happy and excited. It was like, yeah, so it was a crazy moment.
I felt like it was like a cute like, good night. And that was it. I didn't want to push anything. I was more like bubbly inside because I truly really liked talking to you. Like you are a great person and that's hard to find in general. And then you seem to be actually interested in my life. So it was like the emotional connection for me. And it wasn't my first kiss, I'm sorry.
Right.
But so it was like the connection and I was like, so I definitely have like butterflies type stomach feeling and I was like, oh my gosh, that was the cutest thing ever.
Okay, so that was the first part of the story. And then I was not planning on coming back to VidCon. Like that was my last night, so I didn't really have a hotel to stay in. So then you were like convincing me to like come back and like you would help me with my costume.
Yeah.
I need you to cut my bracers like this. And so then we went back to Kalel's room and to work on costume stuff. You were like helping me, and then there was a party that night. I think we just like had some drinks and we were just like hanging out.
Frolicking.
Yeah.
Really frolicking.
Were we frolicking?
We were.
Yeah. That is so funny. I think it was just because like it was one of those moments where I just had so many like butterflies in my stomach, and like I could tell that you liked me and I liked you, so it was just like, this is like a really cool feeling. So it was like, I think I was just in like outer space at that moment of just like total like butterflies and just excitement. My plan was to stay at Kalel's hotel room. You're like, why don't you just stay with me? And you were sharing a room with Tyler at the time. So I was like, okay, this could be fun. So I decided not to go home that night and I was just gonna stay the night with you. And I was nervous because I didn't know like what that meant. I was like, sleeping over at a boy's like hotel room, like what could that mean? Like I was so nervous. I was like, I hope he doesn't like want to like go all the way or something. So I was like stressed out to the max, but I was like, I'm a wholesome woman. I'm not gonna give it up that easily. Yes. So, I don't know, I didn't really know what to expect. And I trusted you because you were so like, I wasn't like nervous that you were gonna like force anything upon me just based off of like getting to know you. So,
and there was another person in the room too, so that would have been really weird.
Right. But he wasn't there at first.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Came in a little bit later. I remember like Tyler being like, oh, so you and Joey, what's happening? I was like, nothing, Tyler. We're talking.
Oh my God.
We enjoy hanging out. That is it. And so he like made it a big deal at first, but my favorite part of the night was I was joking. I'm a very sarcastic person. He was like, so I don't have a toothbrush. And I was like, oh my God. That's okay. No worries. You can use mine.
Wait, you were joking?
And then,
oh my God.
And then this guy right here wrote in his book, thinking that I truly meant that he could use my toothbrush.
Oh my God. I thought that was like,
no.
That was weird.
That is weird.
It is, right?
It is weird.
I mean, I used it.
Did you use my toothbrush?
Yes.
I don't remember that at all.
But we did end up kissing after that, like a real kiss.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is what a kiss should be. And that was like the makeout session.
Besides the disappointing one that I gave him the first time.
Well, it wasn't disappointing. It was just like, that kiss was, I guess, more passionate and it just like felt more.
And then at that point we talked even more. So
right, exactly.
The relationship had progressed.
So I feel like that was like my real first kiss was in that moment, because that was just like, I could feel the tension like between us and I was just like, oh my God, like I don't know how to like do this. I don't even remember who like engaged that. Like
I don't either, to be honest.
It just like, I feel like I was like so freaked out and it just happened. Yeah, that was my first kiss and it was great. So thank you for making that experience great for me. And so then from there, I think that's when things got confusing for us, because it was like, okay, so like I really like him and we have really good like talks and just like
the vibe was good.
Yeah. Really good. So then you flew back home.
Yes. More importantly, like I was trying to figure out my own self. So that was happening on my side of things, and then I feel like that was happening a lot on your side of things as well. Because I feel like I opened a can of worms in a sense from my perspective, because I felt like I was somebody that made you realize more who you were.
Yeah. For sure. And like it was like this boy that I had just like kissed and just like felt all these feelings for, and then suddenly you're just gone the next day. And like I was, I think 21 at the time, so it was like late in the game for me to have like a first kiss and like first time to like really like have feelings for a boy.
For me, I think I'm 2 years older than you, so I was just 23, just turned 23 around that. I had like one major boyfriend before that, and then I've talked to like a couple of people, but that was it. So like I was kind of in the same boat a little bit, not really sure what to do, but I ended up being really connected to you really quickly, and then it didn't like completely break away, but we were pulled apart from each other really fast.
Yeah, pretty much. Wait, I just want to go back to, I guess that moment when we were kissing, like what was your thought process during that time? Like what was going through your head?
Well, like I did YouTube stuff as well, and I know that I wanted to move at some point, and so my first thought process being a 23-year-old young person, well crap, let's move. This is awesome, it's amazing. And so I was like, well, if this is something that's awesome and fantastic, I have friends, I have lots of friends in LA. So it's like I can move to LA and this can potentially work. Yeah. So like that was my first thought. And then it was just like complete sadness on the way home in the airplane. I was like, this sucks. Yeah. Really bad, it sucks. I go, but it's okay, I'm gonna see him in like a month or so. That was my first like thought. It's like, this can eventually work. Kind of my naive young brain, I guess.
Yeah, so then we talked a lot, like a lot. Just texting like all throughout the day, like.
Not even just texting, like we would like be on Skype, like all night long and talk all night long.
So yeah, we were texting a lot, we were Skyping, and I feel like the Skypes were like the hardest part, just because like it would be like such a high of just like getting to talk to you.
See you.
Like, and then just like the goodbye of that Skype call was just like crashing down, like, oh my gosh, like you're so far away, and I just wanted to like be around you, and it was just like the worst feeling. Because it'd be like late at night where you just want to like cuddle up with someone, and it was just like.
I'm pretty sure there was some times where you just like kept this like computer open and just like fell asleep, just talking to each other. Because I remember there was a couple of times where like I like woke up and I was like, Joey, and you'd be like, huh? And like we both would literally fall asleep just talking to each other.
So then we had planned, or I was like, all right, I've had enough of this. Like I can't not be around him any longer. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna fly him out to LA, and we're just gonna like hang out. And like I was
like a week or so.
Yeah, I was so excited. Like everything like was going good, and I feel like this is where our perspectives are probably going to be like different.
Very different.
And I just like I'm very curious to know from you. But for me, there was like a lot of build-up I think we had towards it, where we're just like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then it was just I think building up in my head of just like, holy crap, like he's finally gonna be here. And then I think just knowing kind of like the Skype calls, like having that like super high, and I feel like this would take it up another level of you being there for an entire week, for you to just be ripped away from me again, was where I was just like, I don't know if I can like go through it, because I knew how hard it was to say goodbye to you on a Skype call. Like I can't imagine like you in person, like what that would do to me.
Yeah.
So I had to like make like a really hard decision where I was just like, I don't want to do this to myself, and like I don't know what this is going to be like in the future. And like this is like me just coming out of the closet and just like finally like coming into like what the gay world really is, and like you being so far away and not having that in-person connection was like so hard on me. So I was like, shit, like I can't do this. So then I sent you a text, and I was just like, I don't think that this is a good idea.
I hated that text message.
Oh my God. I felt so bad, and I hurt so bad sending that as well, because I knew like it was for the best, but at the same time it like killed me to do that, and I knew that like it probably hurt you as well. So then that's I think the last like real time that we had talked, and we like texted a little bit after that.
Just randomly, yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of like where things ended. It was just like very abrupt and very just like.
For me, I was like heartbroken, to be honest. I was super, super heartbroken. I didn't know exactly what to make of it. I think that, I don't know if this is kind of what your perspective was, but from my perspective, it shifted to like, okay, well, what was the problem? Because to me, like we had great conversations, like we were super connected. We talked every single day, multiple times a day. We'd have multi-hour phone call conversations, Skype calls. And I was like, I know the distance is bad. Like I knew that. And I was like, I really truly want to take the move to LA, and like anyway, so like this is something that could push in that direction. And so when I got the message, I was just like devastated. And so I tried to like talk a little bit to you, but I could tell like you were trying to keep your distance.
Yeah.
And so like I was trying to get more information about it. And so I was like, okay, put myself in his shoes, I guess. And so my perspective was the fact that you told me afterwards that was your first kiss at one point. It's like, so I was like, I kissed him for the first time. I thought it was just like first boy kiss ever. I was like, okay, that's understandable. I remember thinking, okay, well, I was his first like boy like interaction like romantically. So I was thinking that, and I was thinking, okay, well, he just came out to Kat.
Right.
And he just came out to Whitney, and then your sister just came the week after something. So you had talked to your sister at one point, like previous to her coming over, and I was like thinking of all these things, like all building up, and I was like, well, he's coming out to all these people. I was like, maybe it's something like to where he feels like everything is just happening all right now in this moment, and like I feel so much pressure, and like what are my parents gonna say? Because you didn't know how they were going to.
At this time either, so.
And so you had all these things you're like thinking about coming out to every single person and all your friends. And then that was also when you're stopping with Winter Spring Pro too, with Brittany. And so there's a lot of like emotions in this moment. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'm just like rushing all of that for him, and he isn't ready. He may not be ready for like a relationship, and that's okay. And I try to pull myself back a little bit, and YouTube just depressed me, honestly. And like when I thought YouTube, I thought you. And like YouTube and you were very connected to everything I felt in that moment. And so like I stopped doing YouTube videos for like at least 4 months or so, because it just made me sad. And everybody's like, where are you, Cameron? I don't understand. Like I haven't seen videos. And some random person, I don't even know who it is, and we never found out who it was, I don't think, unless you found out. And it was something where like they like spliced like one of my vlogs from VidCon and your vlog from VidCon, And then you had mentioned after stopping things with your sister about like, I just got done with like a relationship that just didn't work out, and like that you've been kind of depressed here recently, and somebody like spliced all this together and tried to connect the dots that we were dating. So we had like 3 videos of people trying to prove that we dated, and it was all from the same account that got deleted at one point.
I think I was just scared that that was gonna be what outed me, so I was just nervous about that.
So like your last like interaction with me at Playlist was like the end to the true story, I guess. Mine didn't end. I have done YouTube, and I've done YouTube for a really long time. And then I transitioned into coaching cheerleading, and that became another passion in my life. But our picture, the one picture we have of each other like together, because we only took one ever, and that shows up all the time. Well, it did show up all the time on my timeline. And as soon as you started dating Daniel, I all of a sudden got these random death threats all the time. #Daniel is what they would always like end it with. I would get death threats saying to stay away from you guys, because we would randomly tweet, because we would just randomly tweet at each other. They would pull it up, and then like the video would start like popping back up, and then there was a time when you guys first started dating, and I liked a picture or something of your guys's, and like commented or something, and then like Daniel followed me at one point after that, and then I would get death threats like that I was trying to intervene in between your guys' relationship.
Oh my gosh.
Every single day, like that would be sent to me as well. It was so depressing at first, to where like I dove into my other friends on YouTube and kind of like sought some advice from them.
Yeah.
And they kind of lifted me up a little bit more, and that ended up becoming my fun spot again. So that was how I first handled it, and it was terrible for me. I didn't handle it well, but in the end I knew it was best for you, and I thought that I was giving you and allowing you time to come to terms with everything.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Like there was so much going on, like, between like just like this newfound, like, you know, like the first time that you come out, it's just like such a whirlwind experience, being far away and just not knowing what that meant. Felt like it was holding me back from, I guess, experiencing, I know this sounds like probably bad, but like what I needed at first, like just like I was finally like accepting who I was, and like I wanted to like share that with someone in person.
Yeah.
And I guess I was just,
that.
I was just being like selfish in a way, where I was just like, I need to give myself what I'm craving right now at this like moment of just like
discover you. Like you were in LA too, and so like you had just moved there like the year before or something like that, and so you're down here, you're seeing everybody be true to themselves, and you wanted that moment, and you wanted that moment with me, but I wasn't able to do that. It's understandable. Like everything is completely understandable. Obviously, I love you to death. Like we're still like compatible, like as far as friends, and like we talk every once in a while. But
well, I feel like after that, I had to like I distanced myself from you, because like I've never been friends with like someone that I was like into after the fact. In my head, it was always like, when you like break up with someone, like it's just over, like don't ever talk to them again. So that was my perspective, and also just being like, I don't know, I didn't want to like confuse things between us, but like I really like enjoyed like the friendship we had, and I feel like I had to like hold back, and I couldn't allow myself to be your friend during that time, because I didn't know like what that meant. So I think that's why it was hard for us to like remain friends after, and I like regret that in a way, just because like I wish that I like still like had your friendship, and like we haven't like talked in forever. So I guess like hoping that this, I don't know, would open up doors for us to become friends again. And I feel like the whole like experience that we had is just, it's so weird when you don't like just talk about things, and I feel like this is a conversation 5 years too like later than it should have happened. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation, and like just I guess you getting my side of the story, I'm getting yours, and is there like more?
The only like true like added things was because of course I'm in that moment, like I was very selfish, and I was mad and angry. So.
Yeah, so were you like mad at me?
Not mad, but like mad at the situation. Like not mad at you personally, because I can understand where you came from. My coming out experience was not fun for me personally. And so for you, I was like, God, he has to come out to all these people. Like it's not just his family in general and his friends, it's his family, his friends, and then his
But did you feel
following.
that, like, were you mad that like I didn't like bring you along with me in that process?
I feel like I was more mad at the fact that I just didn't know why. Like, that was the biggest thing. Like, I had to tell myself and convince myself like, what the true reason was, and I never really got an answer as to why. And I feel like that was probably one of my last questions for you that I ever asked you, like on text before we texted a couple years later. I was like, why did you think that it wasn't a good idea? Or why did going forward wasn't a good option for you? And so I made it up myself in my own head and kind of had to force myself to accept it because I knew you needed your space. I knew that bothering you every day would just make me more upset and depressed, honestly. So I just left it alone, but it was always like, well, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it.
You're like way too nice. You're like nice. So sweet. Like through the entire process, even now, like you're so nice about the whole situation. Whereas like, if I were you, I would be like so angry and just like pissed off at the other person. Like seeing from your perspective, like I feel like an asshole. Like I was terrible. Like the way that I handled the situation, I was young and dumb and I didn't really know, like, I guess how to handle that. And it was a lot, and I definitely owed you so much more explanation to things, and like I never gave that to you. I'm sorry for being a dick. I also I feel like a couple years later when we were at Playlist, I was also like terrible. I don't know like what your experience during that time was.
He was pretty terrible after that.
Oh my god. I was going through something then, so
It made sense. Like, okay, so I really do try to like understand how people think, etc. It made sense that he would distance himself from me. Like, it just did. But I was so mad at him because he made it seem like it was the distance more than anything that was the problem. Like, that was the distance. And in my brain, I'm thinking, no, it's not the distance. It's not the distance at all. It's like, it was a lot happening and all that, and he just couldn't handle it. And then the next time I see this fool, he is dating somebody else. Don't know if I'm allowed to say who it is, but he was dating somebody else who just happened to be from England.
Oh,
and was hanging out with this dude from England all the time, and visiting him in England. And they just happened to fly each other back and forth to places from England to LA, and we're hanging out. And I was like, oh, long distance relationships are hard.
No, it was, and that also did not work out. And I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry because you were literally the nicest person ever, and I don't know why I put on this asshole role of just being such a dick, and I felt like I had to I think because you were so nice, I had to be extra wall up, and I hate
brick
myself.
wall.
I literally hate myself.
Concrete,
for
made of steel, could keep the entire Jurassic World theme park inside. That's how big of a wall.
That was oh my God. Joey. That was like $2 worth.
Was actually really well.
You're sweating like Sawyer.
I don't think I was ready to settle down with anyone, and I think I was afraid because of the connection we had that was so strong. I felt like if I allowed that to happen, that I'd be tied down, and I don't think I was ready for that. So I feel like that's partially where that wall and me not connecting with you was the reason for, and you didn't deserve that. So I'm sorry.
It's okay. No worries. I wouldn't change any of our experiences at all. Obviously, I wish that we were closer and that we had bonded more afterwards, but I knew that no matter what, it was an experience that made me who I was, because it was my first true heartbreak. It was something that made me stronger, and unfortunately, you had to be a dick, but that's okay. We all have to be a dick sometimes.
I know.
I'm just gonna rub it in now, because now I can be the dick. Because that's what you wanted. You told me I'm too nice. This jerk over here. No, I'm just joking. Anything else that you can think of?
So you're dating someone now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
His name's Braden. I love him to death. He also coaches cheer at a competitive cheer gym.
That might have to be part 3. You teaching me how to be a cheerleader.
I will get your legs together on the handstand.
What? My legs are always pointed together.
They're like this.
Straight, gorgeous, the only straight thing about me.
Joey's handstand.
Don't get squished. That is not, I do not do handstands like that. That is a lie. Well, that was so crazy. Overall, I'm so happy that I ended up reaching out to him to do this video. I mean, I could have done it off camera, but I'm glad that I captured it because it was just a really cool experience. It definitely taught me that one, I need to be better at communication, and you know, it's never too late to actually talk to someone about whether it be something from your past or something that happened that maybe your relationship's never been the same from that. It's never too late. I'm so glad that I was able to apologize to him and kind of just clear the air, and I feel like out of this situation we both get to walk away feeling so much better, and hopefully we can remain friends after this. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big ol' thumbs up and go check out Cameron's social medias and whatever else he's gonna do. Maybe he's gonna start YouTube videos. But yeah, if you guys would like me to do more of these videos, let me know in the comments down below. I love you. I will see you guys next time. Good damn bye. Have you ever seen anything more flexible in your life? Okay. Now that's flexibility.
You got it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. That's the best handstand you've ever done.